Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to check it from ICM. It is modded in 1/24 scale and it copies model T1912 commercial Roadster, so it's not difficult to guess which body type or car type is copied by this plastic kit. And we have a commercial sample here, so it means you will get exactly the same stuff as what you will see in this video review. So first of all, box size is typical for ICM here. You can see comparison with my hand. Box art is quite nice. Then on the side we have some information about the kit. So there are 112 parts in total, and assembled model will have the length of equal to 142 millimeters. Then on the other side we can see a marking guide for this vehicle, so it's pretty much simple marking, but I think it's not difficult to find something different if you would like to. Box structure is also traditional for ICM, so it means we have color printed top lid and we have sturdy white cardboard box under it, and here you can see what we have inside. So all plastic frames are packed into the same plastic bag, and then we have assembly manual on the bottom, but we will talk about it a bit later. I would like to start with plastic parts first, and then we will continue to the assembly manual. Well, that's pretty much basic layout of our reviews. So, what do we have here? First of all, we have the biggest plastic sprue. It looks like this. So I would say it's rather the interconnection between two frames. As you can see on the left one, it means here we have the lower part of the car body. We also have engine parts here, the wheel axles front and rear, and here we have bonnet panels, exhaust, some parts for the engine and drivetrain, and a lot of thin parts, so be careful with all this stuff because otherwise you might end up with broken parts. We can zoom in a bit more so that you can see, for example, here we have molded in Ford signs. Engine parts look quite nice. I think with some careful painting you can get a really decent result. And here you can see all those parts which are placed on the different sprue. Here we can check them from the opposite side. Note that engine house, they have the guiding pins inside, so it should be relatively easy to align them together and get more or less nice fitment between them. Okay. Next we go on with another plastic sprue. This one is dedicated to minor external elements, so let's zoom in a bit. Now you should be able to see it. So here we have the front grille, we have some of the thin parts, and this will require due care because otherwise it will be really tricky to get them in the right shape. Here you can see also the frame for the windscreen, and I mean all those parts look fine, but thin parts are really funny thing to work with, so keep it in mind and be ready for this. Next we go on with another plastic bag. This one is dedicated to clear parts. So of course this kit, even though this is Roadster, we still get the clear parts, glasses, and also some lenses for the headlamps. So everything molded in nice quality, but there are no masks included, so you will have to be careful while cutting masks for all those parts. Next we go on with another plastic sprue, and here we have broken off part. Well, it's not difficult to guess that this is a bonnet port. I can actually take it out of the plastic bag because we all want to see what it looks like. So here it is. It is not damaged, it was just broken off because it is placed here and it was, let's say, protruding from the plastic sprue, so that's why it happened, even though here the part is molded just like this. I'm not sure why it was decided to do it such way, but molding quality again looks fine. These large panels should be easy to combine together, and I don't have any other things to complain about or note, and in my opinion that's a good thing about this kit. Next we go on with another plastic bag. This one is dedicated to vinyl tires. So these are white parts, just like on the real car. Let's zoom in. I guess those vinyl parts should be okay for out-of-the-box build, but if you would like to get more, you have to resort for some aftermarket upgrades. I'm not even sure if there are some resin wheels available for this kit, but if you will find some, it's worth getting them in such scale. Next we go on with wheel rims. Those are typical plastic parts, so because they're molded separately from tires, it should be simple to paint them and then just to combine them with tires by popping them into the vinyl tires. And that's pretty much all the assembly process, so nothing difficult. And next we have last gray plastic sprue. So this one is dedicated to the Roadster specific body parts. So as you can see, these are body panels which will be used for the open version of this car. We also have here a nice seat, and also note this roof which is molded together with thin parts. Let's zoom in. So now you can see this nice seat. We also have some molded in details, so I would recommend to bring them out with careful painting. Here you can see also side parts, again those sides of the seats, and here you can check what we have inside. Note that doors, as far as I understand, they will be shut, so you won't be able to open them on your vehicle, don't even think about it. But from the other side, I mean, this is not such a huge car, and it is an open version. Actually, there are no doors on this car, as far as I remember. So I am just talking nonsense here. Okay, nevertheless, we go on with assembly manual. Here it is. So let's zoom out a bit. Now you should be able to see it. So here we have short history note in English and Russian, some technical specifications, safety advices, and paint chart. Then when we flip it over, there are no decals, surprisingly, even though usually ICM packs some decals into their assembly manuals. But we have here a parts map, and you can notice that some parts won't be used for this version. We start with engine assembly, and once again I'm repeating that engine should be really detailed here, so spend some time painting and weathering it, and you'll be surprised with final result. I mean, to get such detailing out of the box is really cool. I would recommend to add some wiring with help of metal wires, and maybe to add some weathering as well. So next we continue by combining the engine and radiator grille together. Then we install it onto the chassis. Then we install wheel axles and exhaust tube here. Then again we detail engine a bit more with some minor elements. Here we install some bars for the main chassis. And straight away we assemble wheels, but obviously professionals will be assembling wheels in the last turn, so it's just a step to ignore, let's say. Next we continue with Firewall, which will be installed in front of engine, of course. Here you can see bonnet panels, and note that manufacturer does not suggest any possible open configurations with open bonnet here, so you will have to think it with your own tools and hands. Next we continue with here the passenger bay, let's say. Next you install the seat, so that will be a combination of two parts which we saw earlier. And just to remind you, this part. Okay, next we go on with passenger seat here in the front. Actually, this is also a driver's seat as well. Next we continue with windshield, so it's a matter of combination, combining two parts, two clear parts together with one gray frame, so be careful while doing this stuff because you might easily damage the clear part. Here we install pedals and some levers in the cockpit. Then we continue with steering wheel, which should be glued out of two parts, surprisingly. Next we continue with roof. Roof should be glued out of several elements, and this is really surprising. As far as I remember, there were some push rod marks, so you should be careful and maybe fill them in if you would like to get an even more realistic appearance. Then we go on with headlamps, which should be a complex assembly out of several parts, really surprising. And here we go on with some lamps which will be installed on both sides. Here we install also tail lights, and that's pretty much all. So 58 steps in total in order to get your Ford Model T ready. And of course on the last page we have color printed marking guide, but as I said before, if you have some reference photos for the different color, I would recommend to use them, because this way you will be able to get something different from what is offered here. But even the dark green vehicle should look nice in the finished state. Let's not forget that this is just a 1/24 scale. So this kit should be already available in Modelimex webshop, so if you would like to get it, just go there. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion here in the comment section below. If you like this video, don't forget to press the like button because it helps us greatly, and you can also press the subscribe button so that you won't miss any new video. And I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye!